That sound is us interrupting your Father's Day because an absolutely shocking, insane, stomach-dropping trade just happened. This is the Neverwheres podcast. I'm Tom Brown. That's Jack Brown. Enough of that. The Boston Red Sox traded Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants. And if I could just say that again, maybe rephrase it. The Boston Red Sox, after playing their best span of baseball, just traded their best player because they were butthurt. Instant reactions, Jack, go.
Um, I don't know, Tom, and I've texted you this. I've made this known. I've skeeted it. If we were told that the reason Meyer and Roman Anthony weren't batting against lefties was because they are still trying to win now, I don't understand how this makes your team any better now. He was having the best in terms of I guess, walk rate and really just not chasing the ball on base percentage, having his best season. Had he not started the historic offer with all the strikeouts to start the season, you'd probably see him closer to a 300 batting average and above, kind of threatening for the league lead. I just don't get it. I don't get how this makes you any better, and I don't think that whatever was happening behind the scenes was big enough to affect his play. He had been a little cold, but I mean, he homered today. I don't know. I mean, if this is the attitude going forward, like do what we say or we're going to trade you, then get used to seeing this a lot with the Boston Red Sox.
I swear, and I'm not just saying this because he got traded. There was a Breslow interview where I was like, this this guy, he's he is pissed right now, and he just seemed like he wasn't afraid to trade him. And then the way Devers has played, as you mentioned, honestly, with 2019, this is his best year so far. This is the
Yeah, his
best he's played. He's settled in, and I think the way he played, it was like, okay, well, they're not going to because he's having a career year. Now they kind of have to eat shit because he's proving himself as he has his whole career to be a great hitter. And it was so shocking. Like I didn't see your text. You texted our baseball group chat, and I was doing stuff, and I saw it, and it changed everything. The night changed. Um, so he was traded for Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, James Tibbs, and Jose Bayo. Hicks and Harrison are major leaguers. The other two are minor leaguers. This is the same Jordan Hicks that started as a wild closer in St. Louis and then had a year everyone claims to be successful where I think his best ERA was 4 as a starter. Right now it's above 6. I Your point of the win now thing is so true. That's not what you're saying anymore. Um, I don't buy into it being a salary dump. Because you don't salary dump a 28-year old two-time Silver Slugger, three-time All-Star, the best player on your team in his
yeah,
prime.
you salary dump mid-level contracts that are
You
kind of
salary dump
dragging on
Trevor
your budget.
Story.
Yeah, exactly. Contracts like that, Yoshida's contract, 90 million
Yes,
over 5 years. Stuff like that is what you dump. You do not dump the cornerstone contract that you made to kind of at the time ensure your fan base like, no, 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 we realize who our good players are and we're going to invest in our future. And again, just until that player that, reports have it that was told all offseason they aren't pursuing a third baseman. He gets to camp and there's a brand new third baseman there. And there's, uh, I think the right decision was made to move Devers over to DH because Bregman is a better defensive player. And
100%.
then he starts pretty poorly and then breaks out of it in a huge way. And probably I mean, I can't think of anybody else at the position, but definitely an all-star starter at DH. He's leading the league. He leads the American League in walks. That's Rafael Devers. He has 55 and he had 67 all last year. So, I mean, you can clearly see that just hitting was working out for him. Then, as he's heating up and really cooking with gas, Casas goes down for the year, and they ask a statistically the worst third baseman over his entire career to try to play a new position after repairing the relationship as best they could, saying, just leave your baseball glove at home. You don't need it this season.
They
And then
told
for
him to
them,
leave his glove.
yeah.
That I was going to
And,
say that, but you brought it up. It's
and then he says no. Uh he said, I moved to DH. I didn't want to do that. Now you're asking me to learn a new position because there is no infrastructure under their starters. Um, a utility, you can preach utility all you want. There's no backup first baseman. There's still no first baseman on the team. Maybe Toro, but anyways, I'm getting off track. But um, and then you get upset about that. You fly the owner across the country to have a conversation with Rafael Devers. He still says no. He, I think, wins the Player of the Week that week because he was on fire. So that clearly didn't affect his play at all. Um, and long story short, the San Francisco Giants fleeced the Boston Red Sox today. No doubt about it.
so I just absolutely won't buy into the malcontent stuff. You can't force me to buy into that. And the reason I can't is because when you are the stature of Rafael Devers, who quite possibly is going to start the American League, the All-Star game for the American League at third base, or well,
You mean
DH, I
DH?
should
Yeah.
say. Um, I mean, finagling the roster however you want with Judge or whoever. What besides that, he was probably going to start as the DH in the
Yeah.
All-Star game. That stature, you've earned, and I saw it, I can't take credit for this. Someone put this on Blue Sky. I think it was Andrew Callahan, who I think is a radio guy here in Boston. You've deserved the right to be selfish. There's a level of selfishness you handle as an organization with your best player. And he is at that point. You you said like you said, don't play third base. You're only going to hit. Hey, our first baseman got hurt. Now you got to play first. Oh, you're not being a team player? No, that is not his job is to hit 30 to 40 homers in the middle of your lineup and drive in 100 runs, which he was going to do barring an injury this year. They throw people under the bus so fast
Hmm.
every single time they go out the door. It's ridiculous. In the Red Sox, you cannot tell me right now that they aren't a bottom of the league run organization.
Well, the players poll that just came out would tell you that same exact thing too. The um the other part of that that doesn't make sense is there would be more stories about it in a market like Boston if it was that big an issue day to day in the clubhouse, and it wasn't. And they just came off sweeping the Yankees for the first time since 2023. Uh, and going back to him not being a team player, the other category that Rafael Devers leads the American League in is games played.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was there every day. Granted, it's not as physically demanding as playing third base, but he was in that lineup hitting second every day. And you're trying to shove this down our throats. And this is what they did to Terry Francona. This is what they did to Manny Ramirez. This is what they did to Nomar Garcia Parra. They do it. This is tried and true. They said he didn't quit it. We need team guys first. We need guys who want to win and win now and are only thinking about the team. And I mean, that's great. And I think you should have that, but you should have a couple of superstars to carry you through the times where Scrappy won't get it done.
So in 2018, when Devers was a rookie, um, and every time he batted and got a hit, we were always like, hey, Devers, this is looking good. He also had superstar, all-star MVPs and MVP caliber players surrounding him. So now you're saying Meyer, Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, take the car keys. Go win us a wild card spot. You have a combined 210 at bats in the major leagues. I don't know. They
I mean,
played what, 80?
Campbell's got a lot.
Well, yeah, but it's still what, 200? He's played 2 months.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And you just, Bregman has so much leverage now. Bregman should, well, I mean, Bregman shouldn't be on this team come the trade deadline. Like, what's the point? What are we doing here?
Well, he
The thing,
also, I mean,
go
that's
ahead.
another point that we haven't touched on is how does this make a guy who's on a series of 1 year deals feel about coming back in the long term investment they can make around him? Like, unless it comes out that his teammates were really pissed, which I don't think that was the case.
Oh, you'll
Um,
hear a source or two say that. You won't say that you won't hear the player, you won't hear the coach, but Red Sox sources will say that. I guarantee
yeah,
it.
but I
They
mean
they
that,
spun the Mookie thing. They spun it. We tried. He was never going to sign here. And then he has a podcast and said, "I want to be a Red Sox for life."
yeah. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But Campbell does have 220. Yeah, good call. Um, but yeah, I hear what you're saying now because I mean, they're gonna keep Bregman through the year. I mean, that's a long injury. There's no timetable there, which is a real bummer. Um, and it could be after the trade deadline. So, uh, realistically, now, if your intent is to not play Anthony Meyer and Campbell all the time, like I said this on our last podcast, and obviously this is a quick turnaround for us, but what is this team? You said I was coming in negative, then they turned me around by Crochet and Bayo having just the best games that could at the best time against the Yankees this weekend, sweeping them
Hey,
out
don't
of
sleep on the
Fenway.
Dobb mob.
Yeah, I'm not. Hunter Dobbins did have a good game. Good name. Great name. We're gonna
Thank you. I
revisit
can't
that.
again can't take credit. I listened to a movie podcast and one of the hosts names Amanda Dobbins and her fans are called the Dobb Mob. So I
Okay, well,
stole
you
it.
repurposed it. Yeah.
Um
Um,
so I
anyways,
it's funny
you
you said
derailed
that
me.
about the vibes
Vibes
because
were high. Vibes
I
were
was
all-time high.
I was coming in here on Monday night or Tuesday night and I was going to say, Jack, we can't have negativity. They they are playing great baseball. Their pitching has been stellar. They are winning close, tight games, which they hadn't done. They're still making stupid errors,
Hmm.
bad errors, but we're going to look past that. This is going to be a positive podcast. And now here we are. Our families are asleep. It's Father's Day, and this has shaken us to our cores.
Yeah, I had forgot that it made me forget that it was Father's Day.
Uh, Allie was
And
saying something to me, and I read your text, and I still right now don't know what she said.
well, you can't I mean,
She's
I
never hit
don't
30 home runs and 100 RBI.
know. I mean, and she's having a good year herself, but she's nowhere close to
Sure.
the league in walks.
No way.
Um, but again, I think the biggest question to me is obviously it sucks that Devers is gone, and I think it was more petty than anything. And obviously
Totally.
we have one. We don't even have either side of it. So interested to hear what Devers has to say about it. Interested. I'm not interested to hear Sam Kennedy talk about it. I know what he's gonna
Hey,
say.
guess
I'll
what?
write it. I'm gonna write Sam Kennedy's speech. And I'll send it to you, and we'll see how close it actually is.
I don't want Kennedy and Breslow to get in front of reporters. I want them to open it up to fans.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen ever. They
I know,
canceled.
but I'm still hot, Jack, if you can't tell.
I like that all the whole thing there, even their documentary is on Netflix. It's just like, yeah, we hear the booze. We know we hear the booze. And
I'm
yet
so sick of it.
You keep inducing the booze.
I just think
How
you
are you going to
mentioned
get
it
a
being
free agent to sign here? That was
right.
their
Oh,
cornerstone contract. Hey, by the way, do whatever we say. We're not going to plan for anything to happen. You have to play all 162 games healthy. Uh, and if you don't move or do what we say, we'll just trade you.
yes, and the pettiness is exactly right. Truly believe Breslow thinks he's the smartest man in every room he goes into. We've talked about in the documentary, he says all the stuff about how bad the four seam fastball is, but the best pitchers have dominant four seam fastballs. Could you imagine Paul Skeens walking into the Red Sox clubhouse and they were like, "Hey, cut back on your four seam fastball"? I just, it's
Again, just
infuriating, and I think he was like, "I didn't sign him to this deal. The last guy did.
mhm.
I want him to do what I want him to do. If he doesn't, I'm gonna look for a deal." And you're so right saying what's that going to do for a free agent in the future? And what's that going to do, Jack, when they finish under 500 this year? Because where do they go from here, losing your best player and your top RBI and home run guy? And then next year, when all the free agents, I don't know who's a free agent, but when the free agents are looking at teams, they're going to look at the Red Sox and say, why would I go there? And then next year, they let go of Breslow. And now you've gotten rid of Devers because of pettiness, and that guy might not. Who knows if he's going to be here in 2 years?
Yeah, I would think that in a results-based business like professional sports, at some point the results should start speaking for themselves. Like it's just not there. They got significantly worse overnight after being at their best, season high. They're playing at their season high. They got somehow got worse overnight. Um, and again, unless Kyle Harrison comes in here and absolutely dominates down the stretch, this is a loss. This trade will be a huge loss. Um,
So
because
let's
it's
talk
not
about.
Fenway Park. There is no green monster, and it's pretty big. But Devers makes a good San Francisco Giants team a legitimate National League contender, especially how close they are with the Dodgers. I don't think they're going to beat the Dodgers in a 7 game series or anything like that, but now they can actually threaten this race going down the way. They made themselves significantly better today.
All right, so let's talk about who they got. We talked a little bit about
Yeah, we
Jordan
got to go
Hicks.
future. Now we got to handle this like, all right, tomorrow, when they're in what, Seattle? They got the day off and then they're flying to Seattle?
I don't even think they have the day off,
All right, so they're playing tomorrow
which
night,
is
and they're
weird.
two guys are going to fly from San Francisco to Seattle, meet them there, Hicks and Harrison. Who do you want to go into first here? I guess the one I'm more
Let's go
excited
Harris
about
or
is
Hicks
Ky-
because he's
all
the
right, all
known
right, all right.
guy.
All right, well, Jordan Hicks, currently 1-5. He's started 9 games this year. He's pitched in 13, so a little bit of both start rotation and bullpen work. Um, 48 innings pitched, 43 strikeouts, a 1-5 record with a 6.47 ERA. So he's not missing a lot of bats. High strikeout numbers. He does have gas. If I know anything about Jordan Hicks, I don't know if you have his pitch mix, Tom, but I know that
Uh,
he's a very heavy four seam fastball user with high velocity.
because it goes 100 miles an hour.
Well,
Um,
that's what I mean. How is that? I mean, I guess they let Crochet and Chapman throw their fastballs because they said, "Hey, that's why I'm in the big leagues."
So yeah, pulling up you want his pitch mix. I'm seeing sinker, sweeper. Oh, that four seamer only gets thrown 9% of the time. He's mostly
Oh,
sinker, but that's
I'll
still
fit in then.
97,
Okay.
averaging 97,
So
which makes
then, yeah.
total sense why they wanted him
Yep.
because they're obsessed with sinkers.
Well, his sinker is not sinking enough. Again, it could be.
Yeah, he's in the bottom 8% in max exit velocity. Someone hit a ball 115 miles an hour off him. Um, I'll tell you what, his Savant page is pretty blue.
That's not good for any
Um,
non-baseball savant listeners out there.
not good. Uh, if you're looking at it, his sinker has a this can't be right. This isn't right. His 97 mile an hour sinker has a quick 321 batting average against.
Oh,
And you might say, okay, maybe it's bad luck. The expected batting average against is 313. So
oh.
that sinker, as you mentioned, Jack, is not missing bats. Sinker, sweeper, four seamer, splitter. I, I okay. He is the numbers speak for themselves at this point.
All
Uh,
right. Well, I don't
yep,
know.
go
And
on.
then again, second question there. Is he on the IL?
I don't know.
We got baseball reference page says 15-day IL.
Well, that's the okay. So there you go. You're just trading for an injured guy. Great.
Okay.
All right.
So, I guess, but all right. So, anyways, my question is, he's not on the IL. Let's say he's pitching. Yep, placed on the 15-day IL on August 27th. What?
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate. Look at his game log. When was his last pitched game?
Oh yeah, good call. Last 5 games, June 1st. Oh, okay.
Okay, so he probably is on the IL. Oh my goodness. All right, move on from the injured guy.
All right. Well, before we move on, what is his role? Obviously, he's got to come out of the bullpen, right? Take one of
He's
those
been a
bullpen
starter.
guys. Yeah, but he won't start over anybody in this rotation unless they
Jack,
send Hunter Dobbins down, and then
Jack,
Mob is effectively retired.
I don't, I can't sit here and I can't make sense of anything they would do at this point.
Well, that's what that overall kind of making my point for me there because that's what I'm trying to say is that there's no plan here as to where this starter slash reliever is going to slot into your lineup. Is there room for improvement in their bullpen? Absolutely. Um, and it's a highly taxed bullpen, but I'd say at this point, especially with the next guy we're going to talk about, Hunter Dobbins is probably the odd man out. Unless they think
Yeah.
of sending Kyle Harrison to Worcester, who was supposed to start tonight's Sunday night baseball game against the Dodgers. Instead, he will meet the team in Seattle. He is 1-1 with a 4.56 ERA. He started 4 games this year, pitched in eight, 23 innings pitched with 25 strikeouts. So there you go, like that out of a starter. 6'2", 209-pound lefty. Here's the exciting part about him. Only 23 years old. Uh, wow, Tom, August 12th birthday, right near yours.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and so he's going to turn 24. I guess this would be his age 24 season. Um, but that's good. He was drafted in the third round in 2020. He was a pitching prospect who was big in their organization. I remember him from the show. Uh, Last year he started 22 games or 24 games, sorry. 124 innings pitched, 4.56 ERA, 7-7. But
Um.
Tom, I guess if you're
y-
looking for a silver lining, a pitching prospect lefty is a 23-year-old lefty is a good place to start. However, this is not the 23-year-old lefty is jumping off the page at you. This is like a guy, and I think it's been said, is a guy who is if he's headlining the package, you make the deal 100 times out of 100, especially if it's to get a player like Rafi Devers by.
yes. And just some savant stuff for him.
Go ahead.
Bottom 2% in average exit velocity against him. Um,
Getting hit hard.
I I just
Also, these guys pitch in a pitcher-friendly park. So
yeah.
when we have a batting average that's like 320 against your best pitch in uh I don't even know what it's called, Oracle Park. That
Pac
is
Bell.
Pac Bell. It's not Pac Bell anymore. Um the house that Barry Bonds built, it is
Noted
even still
malcontent, but they stuck with him.
noted
Obviously,
malcontent.
Devers isn't Barry
He's a
Bonds, but
malcontent.
uh so all right. Then they get the number 4 prospect in the Giants organization, who is in high A at
Sure.
22.
What's
I
his
don't
name?
want to
That's the
put
Jose Bayo, or is that the
no, that's James Tibbs. Um
that's their pick though. That was their recent pick out of high school though, right?
yeah,
Or
a
not high school,
left-handed
college.
outfielder. That's just what they need. Um but also, 22 in high A.
I mean, I get that, but I think he was last year's draft pick. So this is his first year of professional ball. So
Okay. Okay.
he was their first
And
round pick
then
last year. So again,
huh?
he was their
Oh,
the 13th overall pick in last year's draft. So there is like there's something there. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you I know who James Tibbs the third is though. But he's out of
yeah.
Atlanta.
Here's the deal. And then the last guy, Jose Bayo is also in A ball and is a right-handed pitcher. Um, and uh, listen, I got to the top 30 here of MLB.com's prospect list for the Giants, and he's not on it. So
He's
this is
also
what.
in he's
Go
in
ahead.
like developmental A.
Oh
He's
yeah.
1-0. He's 1-0, 8 games with a 2 ERA, 2 saves. So
Um,
he's
I I
wow,
think
people
this is
but
the.
to
Go ahead.
just to say it's fun, it's really weird to see born and see 2005 and realize that I'm gonna probably be rooting for somebody who was born the year after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
just a
here's the
rubber
deal.
band back to reality. 20 years old
Um,
though. I mean, a 20-year-old closer. Let's hope he has a path to the big leagues because they have a history of not only shipping their superstars away, Tom, but unfortunately not really getting anything in return.
that's
And
what I was just trying to interrupt
I'm
you
gonna
and say.
smack you through the camera here if technology would permit me. If you even say Connor Wong is still on the Red Sox.
I don't consider that a thing because my boy who hit a walk-off and vibes were great through the weekend.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they have a tendency of not getting the return they should for their best player that they decided to trade. And I think that's the case. The thing is, all right, and this is where we can end it. Um, this trade with the past 5 years with this team, where they traded Mookie, they could have locked up Bogarts. They just have a history of doing this. They gave up Chris Sale, who both of us were kind of sick of, but they got him for Vaughn Grissom, and Chris Sale won a Cy Young. This is happening a lot now. My question to you after this incredibly fun weekend where you're starting to be like, I like how this is going. The team is gelling. Things look good. Sloppy defense. Things still look good. What is your genuine interest level right now after they just traded away their best player?
Interesting question. Uh, because of all the young talent, it's still there. However, interest in seeing them get Bregman back, make a possible move at the deadline, and make a push for the wild card, completely out the window. Like,
Yeah.
completely out the window. They could even go on a hot run. And it's weird that Devers is going to have a chance to shove their face in this so quickly. They're playing
Yeah, when
Seattle
is that?
and then San Francisco.
Yeah, so it's
So,
so they've what, Friday night they're in San Francisco?
I'm looking that up right now.
I just this is how I felt after Mookie was traded, where, and the 2020 season was odd for, 60 game season. Who knew you couldn't do anything. I just never thought I'd get to this point because I never experienced, like, although they traded one of my favorite players of all time who I stand by, Nomar in 2004. I've found myself being like, who do I root for? Like you made a good point with the young players, but who do I root for now? You're trading the best player on the team. Who am I excited to see? Obviously, Crochet. I am loving what Bayo's doing. Campbell, Anthony Meyer, yes. But now I'm like, great, let's realistically think of this, Jack. Tomorrow's DH is going to be Rob Refsnyder. And it's
Yeah, most
not
likely
to get Devers off his
against them.
feet for a day.
Which he doesn't need because he didn't have that all year. He had played in all 72
No,
games.
I, it's just, I agree with you. I'm not staying up for the Mariners games. I am staying up for the Giants games. But
It is Friday the 20th. They're going to San Francisco.
it honestly is just like, here we go again with a face of the franchise homegrown player who it's not even like they're Hall of Famers and absolute Red Sox legends, and I love them to death. Manny and Ortiz were free agent signings. This is a guy that you picked at 16 years old. And it's just like, hey, we're upset that we told you one thing, told you another, then told you a third thing, and you didn't just go along with it
Hmm.
because of our giant egos.
Yeah. I hate that I'm still gonna watch, but it's almost watching with like, where are these three at bats? Where are they in the what are they batting? When can I watch that?
Yeah.
I just don't know how I keep saying it because it's important. I'm not sure how they are any better today than they were on Friday when the Yankees rolled into town and they swept them. Did they take advantage of a kind of a stale Yankees offense? Yeah. It's not going to be every weekend that Aaron Judge only gets one hit, but it was this weekend. And to take advantage of it, they traded Rafael Devers.
Over
Well, you got to
legitimately, this
think
isn't
Kyle Harrison's going to be ready to go. He was ready to pitch tonight. So does he go
this
tomorrow
isn't
night?
hyperbole, I don't think, to say they traded him over hurt feelings.
Yeah, of pettiness. I think it was
So
them
we didn't
being
even
kind of
mention
petty.
Peter Abraham
Yeah.
said, per Red Sox sources, with a 310 or $313 million contract, they felt certain things like
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
he should act a certain way and be a team player.
Team
And
first.
I challenge you right now. I challenge the Mets to go say to Juan Soto, hey, we want you to learn first base right now. And you know what he's going to say? No.
Yeah.
Just like Devers. No. Aaron Judge, hey, we're thinking to save your legs, move to first base. No. It, it's obnoxious to think he should just do what you're doing because he's the highest paid player on your team. I
I also think, Tom, if I can get, and I know we're trying to end this, but if I can get really out there, kind of almost borderline conspiracy theory,
Please do.
I think them having Casas get hurt and presenting them the opportunity to heap more blame over now let's ask him to move to first.
Yep.
That's not strategically a good plan. He's not a good defensive player in the major leagues.
Right.
Like I
You're
he,
unless you're saying in that like, hey, at
it's
least he
not
won't
the
have to
show.
throw the ball as much, but he's going to.
It's not the show when you can get a secondary position -3 fielding penalty.
I
Like you
I
can't
just
just do it that easily. And
that's a really good thought that they were like that's where it starts to come into like the higher ups, your boy Sam Kennedy talking like, okay, he's upset. Can we get off his contract and get
yeah,
they're under the tax now. Yes. Fire
good
up
for
Sweet
John Henry.
Caroline. I it's just it is such a bummer that they continue to do this over and over where they
But
get rid
like
of
think
the best player
also
on the team.
just Okay, so this is also the future for Anthony Meyer and Campbell. Like this, that's Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, Chris Sale they traded for, but Betts and Bogarts and now Devers. Um, we don't care what you gave us or how long you've been here, and even that we you grew up with us. This is about the Red Sox, and it's not even about getting better because you can't tell me this move made them better, and I don't know how they're going to spin that part of it.
The best thing that can happen for fans right now is for David Ortiz to come out and say, I don't like this.
Yeah,
Because
him and Pedro,
ownership,
some yeah,
yeah, or Pedro, ownership can't, they have to have like, and I think he did after Mookie, but Big Poppy saying that he's upset about something is what needs to happen because that's what the only thing that ownership like cares about is being able to still like parade him around with remember when. I don't know. It sucks. It's a bummer. He was the best player on their team, and he is was the guy in the middle of the lineup. You don't trade that guy in his prime and get not an absolute ridiculous haul. So, Jack, I guess happy Father's Day.
my mic died. Happy Father's Day, Tom.
All right. See ya.